This play has one of the highest probabilities on today's NBA slate. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. In today's show, we're going to go through some of the higher probabilities in the NBA, and also we're going to discuss exactly what happened in the past couple days as well. So let's go ahead and hop over to the whiteboard and let's discuss today's play along with what happened over the last couple days. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what happened on the 25th. All right, first one, we had Tatum to go over 35 plus PRA. All right, he had a 74% probability for that to happen. We ended up catching the win on that one. All right, that one was pretty easy for Tatum. And then we went to Ja Morant. You guys got that one on the show. All right, we had Morant to go over 30 plus PRA. And that had a 66% probability. This one was a little bit shaky, honestly. He didn't have a great start to the game. He wasn't shooting good whatsoever. But then he ended up squealing it out towards the end of the game. He started getting a huge usage in the fourth quarter, ended up squealing it out, and they ended up going to overtime. I mean, we didn't really need overtime for him to get that because he got it before overtime. But still, overtime obviously helped if you got a higher number on him. So we ended up hitting that one as well. Then in that same game, we had KD. KD, he had a, Durant, we had him over 31.5 PRA. All right, and he had a 73% probability for that. 73% probability. This one, we actually needed OT, surprisingly. Going into the fourth quarter, he had 28 points, rebounds, and assists. He wasn't doing anything in the fourth quarter. He wasn't doing anything. So he ended up getting 30, I think, at the end of the game. And then they went to OT, and he was able to accomplish that in OT. But that was a bit of a shaky one for sure, where we thought it was pretty easy. Going into the fourth, you think, obviously, KD is going to get some type of usage. He wasn't really touching the ball whatsoever in the fourth quarter. And then for spread play, we had Marquette. We had Marquette minus 10.5. They ended up blowing out the team that they played. So they ended up winning by I think they won by 30 points. All right, so that didn't even come into play whatsoever. That was an easy play. Now, one thing that happened was yesterday. Yesterday we had the F-bomb. We had Sabonis to go over 35 plus PRA. He had an 83% probability there, and he ended up giving us the L. Now, this definitely is a classic example of when it comes to teams making switches, okay? Because they acquired Zach LaVine, and now DeMar DeRozan's getting more usage as well. Malik Monk is in that lineup now. So it's kind of hurting Sabonis. They grabbed Valanciunas as well and brought him in. Not really taking minutes away from Sabonis, but when Valanciunas goes in, you could tell that he's being more productive than Sabonis. So that is something that we have to look at going forward, because just because there's an 83% probability on it, there is different lineups than when he was hitting this number consistently. So we have to go and dive deeper into that to see, because sometimes you just got to lay off when it comes down to that. All right, but overall, over the last couple of days, pretty decent. All right, we went 4-1 there, and did have some NHL stuff as well. If you did learn how to come up with these plays, if you're in the coaching group and you learn how to come up with this stuff, there is plenty of stuff in the community that people are hitting day in and day out because they're learning how to do it. All right, all you guys got to do is click the link down in the description. There's a free 7-day trial, so you can check that out as well. You can see all these plays. All these plays that I put right here, these were on the 7-day trial, so you guys were able to see that stuff. All right, so this day right here was a sweep, and kind of what I called it, after I told you guys, we kind of had an off weekend. So that's usually when you want to jump on and get ready and get going, is after somewhat of an off weekend or an off couple days. Because what happens? Next day you go and you sweep. All right? Sabonis, of course, that was disappointing last night, but it was only one play. Probably going to hit a little bit of a win streak going forward here if everything that we do stays consistent, as it usually does. Now let's go ahead and talk about today's play. All right, so where are we going today? We are going back to the well on somebody that we had the other day, Devin Booker. All right, we got Devin Booker to go over Now, there's a couple different numbers here that I'm finding alternate lines. So there are 33.5 and 34.5 is what I'm finding, okay? And 34.5. Now, the reason why I have both up here is because some sportsbooks have it at the same odds here, but there's like one that has it with a decent amount of odds, and then the majority alt line is with that number. So that's the reason why I'm putting both of those up there, okay? And again, this is an alt line, so that way everybody understands that. And probability that goes along with this is 63%. So you got a 63% probability for him to go over. They're both pretty much the same probability. I got this question the other day where there's a couple numbers that could be listed. So sometimes it happens like this where you have the same probability to numbers that are just, you know, within 1 point or what's so. So you can really honestly play either or because you have the same probability that goes alongside. Okay? He's going against the 5th worst team versus the point guard position. So he's playing point guard now. Okay? He was usually obviously playing shooting guard, but now he's playing point guard. So we could look at the data for that. He's going against the 5th worst team versus the point guard position. The probability is pretty decent. We got a 63% probability here. Like I said, there's two numbers that you could find. So either or have the same probability. So it really doesn't matter. It just matters about the odds, really. And the odds are kind of similar. The one sportsbook that had this that I seen was the same odds as what the majority had for the alt line for this. Okay? But once again, Devin Booker, we're going to take a ride on Devin Booker once again. It's an alt line. It's over 33.5 or 34.5, whatever one you can find. 63% probability going against the 5th worst team, guarding the point guard position. All right? As always, guys, if you guys want the rest of the plays for today, like I said, it's a free 7-day trial. Click the link down in the description, and you guys can get that before you learn how to do it the correct way. Okay? You can see kind of how it works inside of our app and see how everything is laid out. Then, when you're ready, you jump into learning how to do it because that's the most important thing. Okay? You want to learn how to be able to come up with all of these plays, not just take them as they get posted. As always, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next show. Till then, I'm out.